Yo, what is good everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. I am back in Please Buy Me. There has been an update in the game where the devs added, or Arthak added, a new 10 booths to the game. And this is basically the showcase video of all the booths. You can get the booths by going over here to the community shop, and you can see all of the community booths assets creators. So you got like myself, which I'll be showcasing my booth which I made, and we also got new booths like OofDeclan, who made the market booth. Before I get into the video, there is a live event which is happening tomorrow at 9 PM UK time. So basically the moderators will be giving out all the Robux made from Please Buy Me, and currently they're sitting at 54k Robux with 37k pending, and this is a lot because you can have a chance to get 1k Robux if you're lucky, or even 500, because that means they'll be able to give out 100 people 500 Robux, which is actually insane. So if you want to be a part of it, come join Please Buy Me. It'll be linked in the description below. So this booth is made by Nemo Flute, and this booth is called the Campfire Booth. It's like a campfire themed booth where you have a little campfire for the showcase with marshmallows, which is pretty sick. You got a wooden board to show all of your information. Got the sign at the top of the tent, and inside the tent is basically where all the cards sit. There's cups holding up the cards, and there's a lantern, and there's a bed inside. The display is basically an axe in a log with a backpack on the side and some grass, which is a pretty nice touch to the booth. So the next booth on the list is the artist booth made by Casem the Panda 1, and this booth is basically an artist theme booth. We have a lot of art materials on the booth, on the main booth. There's a cool little like paint splash thing for the sign, which is a pretty nice touch. There's the showcase is like a wall, and the text on the bottom is another man's treasure, which is very funny because the card is on top of it. There's also the information at the bottom. There's a lot of paintbrushes, paints and all that stuff, like paint brush holders and all of that stuff. There's pencils, and this is where all of the cards lay. And the display is basically a cupboard with a trash can, but with a bunch of like artwork and stuff like that. And there's also a paintbrush, which is very sick. So the next booth on the list is the surf booth made by Dangermenn. It's pretty much like a beach on the side. The showcase is a card on some surfboards, and there's like torches on the side, which is very sick. The main booth is basically like a building with palm trees, coconuts, and also a shark teeth bite as like a sign. And there's also a flammable sign, and the cards will lie in like order right over here. The information is basically like a sign on the bottom of the roof, and the main sign is like a surfboard with all the text, which is pretty nice. And on the side of the building you got even more shark teeth. Also there's like some cool posters on the side for like beaches, PBM Beach Home, which is like an Easter egg, I guess I'd say. On the display is like a cool like little net hanging up the cards in like an array, holded by a torch and a palm tree, which is pretty nice. There's the construction booth made by megaRaihany. The booth is basically a construction site with a big crane. The bricks are the main sign, and over here is like the gates for the information of the player. The showcase is like a drill for the ground, and then the showcase is right there. Then the actual display is a crane, and you can actually sit inside of the display little crane. I wouldn't say crane, I forgot what it's called, but I'll put it up on the screen, like one of the images. And yeah, so you can basically sit in it. The displays are on there, and I really like this booth because of the amount of detail and like the effort put in it. Like look how amazing that looks right there. Alright, for the next booth is the gym booth made by NemoFlute again, who is the same person who made the camping booth at the beginning of the video. So the gym booth is like a dumbbell, not a dumbbell, like a weights, and then the cards will just be on the little bar right here. The display is a bunch of weights on that, and the cards will just lie down over here. Then on the side of the display are some prime bottles. You can see there blue raspberry, and then there's another weight. For the showcase is a punching bag with some boxing gloves and another prime bottle again. And then the main sign is just a big like sign above the weights, and the actual information status thing is like a little piece lying on another weight. So yeah, that's the gym booth. Okay, so the next booth is an interesting one because unlike this booth, it's not on the ground, it's high up. And this booth is called the Angel booth, made by Lulu. They also made another asset if you want to go check them out in the community shop. So this is basically an angel type themed booth with the displays lying on clouds, and the actual booth is like a gateway to heaven, let's say. You have to climb up on these little clouds if you want to get up. The sign, the main sign, is held up by a chain on a cloud, which is a nice little touch. And the actual showcase is a ring or a halo with some angel wings, and the card is just on top of that. So yeah, that is a nice little touch for that booth. So the next booth is called the Mechincal booth, made by Dangermenn. They also made the SurfShop booth, which is the third booth which I showed. And this booth is a mechanical type theme booth with like robot technology stuff. It looks a bit like rusty and copper and all that stuff. So the display is the 4 cards on a mechanism with grass below it. The actual main booth is like some electricity poles, I think that is, and some cogs and all that stuff. There's a saw which 2 cards lay on, and then the rest of the 3 cards is on a pipe. The actual main sign is on there, and the information status is a piece of wood on there. And the actual showcase is the one which I really like because of it being inside a purple tube, which you can't really, I don't really know what that is, but I like how there's like a break hole and you can see the actual card in the showcase. So they added a new booth which he made, which is called the BluePunk booth, made by Running Rooster 38. And the booth itself is actually quite simple but very nice. You can see the showcase is like a cylinder sort of thing where it beams up the card holding it up. The main booth is like the 5 cards holding on the same like type of thing as a showcase, holding it up. The actual sign is up there, the information right there, and there's a fame coin star, which is nice. There's a blue and green one. The back looks like this. It's like some little futuristic technology thing, and the actual display is a small board holding up the 4 booths, not 4 booths, the 4 cards, with, it looks like a jetpack fire thing holding it up. Alright, the next booth is called the Campfire Booth, made by Boss Dragon 197. It's similar to the camping booth made by NemoFlute, but it's basically just a campfire where you can sit on these little wood stuff. So yeah, let's get started. The display is a palm tree with a fence and the cards lay on it. The main booth is basically a campfire. I really like the VFX on that for the campfire fire, and the cards itself are on the actual wood logs. The showcase is quite weird because of how it looks currently. The it's basically a log and a guitar, and yeah, the actual showcase is lying on top of the logs. The main sign is a small little cardboard or a wood sign, as well as the information status right below it. Now this booth is made by OofDeclan. This is called the market booth. It's really simple, which I really love about this. So the main booth is like a stool with the main sign being on the board right there, and the actual information sign is right at the bottom right here, which I love the simplism on this. And the cards are just lying down like it's being showcased right there, and behind the cards are like oranges, apples and pears, and we also have some money, which is very nice. The display is a tree, some logs, which is also simple as well, and the cards are just on the logs. There's also an orange and an apple. And for the showcase is a fence and then directional signs with a cute little duck on the fence, and the showcase card is just lying on there. And all my days, what is this masterpiece right here? Yes, I made this booth made by the real D3N. This booth is called the car booth, and I've had a lot of support with this booth and making it. So yeah, big shout out to all the people who helped me make this. The actual main booth is a car on some ramps, which Iceland actually suggested I should do, because originally the ramps which the car is being held on was a road. But yeah, the actual cards are laying down over here, which is pretty sick. The showcase is like a little car crane, I'd say, I think it's called. But yeah, it's like holding up the showcase, which is a very nice touch to that. And the display is a bunch of oil barrels, and the cards are just lying on there, which is pretty nice. And the main sign is like a little car flag racing type thing, and the information status is on the car door right there. And finally, for our last booth is the Megabyte booth. So as you know, the person who made this, SJ, also made a similar one, but it was also blue. But this one, which Artifact added, is a greenish one, and it has different things like the 8-bit things and the 8-bit showcase. So this is the last booth out of the 11 booths, and the main booth has green cubes which each card go on. The main sign and the status sign are up there on some green little laser. The main decorations for this booth are, yeah, again, space 8-bit themed stuff from video games. The display is similar to the booth, where there's 4 cubes and each card lies on top of it. And for the showcase, that is a big 8-bit emoji game thing, where the card itself is as if levitating under it. So this is one of my favorite booths out of the added ones, except for the card booth, obviously, because of just the green vibrance. And so yeah, if you did like this video, make sure you guys subscribe and like the video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.